TwitchCon has returned, and unfortunately, with its return, has problems also aroused, proving once again that Twitch is undeniably one of the most biggest streaming platforms, but also one of the most incompetent as well. For those who do not know, a popular Twitch streamer, emiru, was assaulted at TwitchCon. And unfortunately, I can't show the video because YouTube is marking the video as sexual content, or sexually explicit content rather. But it's only doing that to some channels. I don't know why. Penguin Zero did put the video up on his video explaining the situation, but he didn't really get any strike. Dolan Darkest did post it as well, but his video got taken down, so I really don't know what that's about, but that's all by the way. Anyways, for those who aren't aware, emiru, a Twitch streamer, was sexually assaulted by a random person who just walked up to her and tried to kiss her. I'm not even sure if he did actually do it or the guard shoved her or shoved him off before he was able to do that. But what I do know is that that's not supposed to happen in a, event hosted by one of the biggest streaming platforms currently, right? Because you would expect that a platform of such magnitude would be able to pay decent money for security detail and be able to keep the people who work for them, or the people who use their platforms rather, to be able to be comfortable in such an event, because all of these people are coming to meet their fans and meet the people who they dedicate hours of streaming towards, and the people who watch their content, they're coming there to meet those people. So you'd expect the event, or rather the people hosting the events, to be able to ensure the safety of the users of their platform, the creators on their platform, the giants of their platform. But as always, the corporate greed remains the corporate greed, where people on top only care more about how much money they can stack into their pockets and less about the people who are even giving them that type of traction or financial gain to begin with. So unfortunately, or fortunately rather, despite the fact that she did get assaulted, her guard was able to push the guy off before anything serious or anything extreme happened, before anything escalated to something even more than it should be. But the thing is that wasn't even supposed to happen in the first place, right? But even with the fact that it did happen, the only thing that guy got was a ban from Twitch. Yeah, Twitch just decided, hey, let's ban you, right? Let's get you off our platform for a couple. Maybe that'll teach you a lesson. Maybe after we banned you, you will do better. You ensure that you do not act out like this ever again. And I find that crazy. I find that genuinely crazy, because this guy could have done something more, right? Let's be honest with ourselves. Thank goodness. It sucks. It does suck, but thank goodness that she wasn't threatened. Thank goodness that her life was not in danger, because this guy spent a very good amount of time around her, right? He spent a decent amount of time that if he did have a weapon on him, he would have probably been able to inflict some serious damage on her. Because what if she was killed? What if the dude freaking had like a knife or something? What if he had something on him and he inflicted some type of extreme damage or something to her? What if he was able to do worse off than what he did right now? Then what would Twitch do? You would think that they would at least have decent security detail, right? You guys are one of the biggest platforms in the world. Obviously, I've seen how much Twitch streamers make. You would expect that the people that even own this platform obviously make more. So why is it so freaking difficult for you to be able to not only pay for a very crazy security detail in order to ensure the protection of your creators, but also to enact a punishment for something like this even happening in the first place? How is this dude being left with a slap on the wrist? What the heck is a Twitch ban supposed to do? And to make matters worse, she also faced something similar, I think a couple years back. Fortunately, I didn't do much research into that. But what I did hear was that the guard who helped her from the creep that went towards her was banned from Twitch as well, which I find genuinely insane. It's crazy. It's literally like the equivalent of Roblox, right? When Schlep was telling them, get your security of the platform to be very strong so that this creeps, this pedophilia people, or pedophiles, stop trying to talk to little children. And then Roblox goes, hey, you know what? Yeah, I think this dude is really annoying. You should get off our schlong, my guy. It's insane. It's genuinely insane. How in the world does a guy get a Twitch ban for sexually assaulting someone? How does that even make any sense? How was he not caught? How was he not put down? How was he not arrested? How is he not facing charges? You know? And to make matters worse, I even heard that the people, the top dogs of the Twitch itself, the platform, were hosting a freaking party while emiru was letting out the rage, or like speaking out about the fact that what happened was very distasteful, to say the least. And instead they were like, you know what? Yeah, let's go have some fun. Let's go get some drinks. Hey, you want some drinks? Hey, you want some martini? You know, let's get some martini in your system. It's insane. It's genuinely insane. I find that to not only be crazy, but extremely disrespectful. What if it was worse? Right? What if she actually got killed? What if she got stabbed? What if she got in? What if something worse than what the stunt that was pulled off that day? Because let's face the facts, right? Some people can't separate social media from reality. There's a whole lot of people who have the most craziest parasocial relationships with each and every single one of these streamers. So you have to be thinking about all of these things. You have to put all of these things into consideration. But Twitch had other plans, which involved them getting as, dumb drunk as possible. Well, anyways, I heard emiru is suing Twitch, so that's good. Honestly, I hope that she gets her bag, because this is insane. When you're hosting an event, you expect these things to be the bare minimum that you provide for the people that you call your creators, right? Because let's face it, right? Twitch is a platform, and the people on this Twitch, as far as I'm concerned, work for them. They get paid, so they basically work for Twitch. Maybe there's no signed agreement for every creator, because I know some creators do get, contracts. But even if there isn't for every creator, we sure as heck know that this basically is the equivalent of still getting paid. The moment you get demonetized on any of these platforms, you've lost your job. So honestly, it makes no sense to me. And I just wanted to talk about it though. So yeah, bye guys.